Alrighty, guys, what is going on? My name is Tubby. The full results for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Make sure to leave what you thought of the pay-per-view in the comment section below. Besides, Cena versus Rock 2 is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to it. If you guys can do me a huge favor, hit the like button for Elimination Chamber. A lot of people give it a thumbs down. I kind of enjoyed the pay-per-view. Let's start right from the beginning. The first match was the pre-show. It was Tenzai and Brodus Clay taking on Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow. Tenzai and Brodus Clay won. I barely watched any of it. When I came back, I saw them do a double team maneuver, and then they got the victory on Cody. And they had a segment later on in the night that I thought was really hilarious. The Power Buddies or the new toys. And Tenzai kind of made fun of himself and talked about the writing on his face. He's like, bro, it's like, what does that writing even mean? That's why you don't have an action figure. It's like, I don't know. It's probably a Japanese takeout menu. I like what they're doing with Tenzai and Brodus. Honestly, I think they're doing a good job. The opening contest was Alberto Del Rio taking on the Big Show. Now, Big Show came out, then Del Rio came out, and here we go. The match, pretty much a back and forth contest. Del Rio was really going after the arm and, focusing on the cross arm bar, and pretty much everybody knew that he was going to win by cross arm bar, and it was a back and forth contest. He broke out of it like one or two times, I think Show finally did. Show picked him up out of cross arm bar. They were outside the ring. Show went for a knockout punch, but Del Rio rolled out of the ring. In the match, though, there was a massive botch that was pretty much the finish to the match, and it was really, really annoying. Show went for a choke slam, and Del Rio pulled him down, and he hit a DDT on him. Del Rio hit another enziguri. He probably like 5 or 6 enziguris in the match. He went for the cross armbar. However, he picks him up, throws him. Ricardo got on the apron, and Big Show went over there and knocked him off. And Big Show picks up the bucket that was on the side of the ring and holds it up perfectly right up to the side of his head. And right when we said that, we were like, okay, he's going to enziguri into the bucket, and it's going to be the finish. Well, that's not what happened, because he held up the bucket perfectly. Alberto Del Rio went for the enziguri, fell flat on his ass. Absolutely hilarious. Completely botched it. And then Big Show kept standing there with the bucket up to his head. Like if you feel somebody fall from behind you. And Del Rio gets up again. Then he hits it again. And he finally hits him. He starts kicking him again because they knew they botched it. He wouldn't go down. Puts him in the corner. Hits another enziguri. Puts a cross arm bar on. And Big Show tapped out 1, 2, 3. And no, there was no cash-in. Del Rio is champion. He'll go on to WrestleMania. Here we go. There was a G.I. Joe trailer for The Rock. And then came time for Miz and Antonio Cesaro. Now, Miz came out, and Miz was taped up to all hell from the beating that Antonio Cesaro put on him. Now, I was getting stale of this rivalry until I saw Antonio Cesaro swing Miz back and forth. That was fucking hilarious. Hands down, if you didn't see it on Raw, go back and watch it. The match was actually really good. It was one of my favorite matches of the night. They put on a good show. It was very back and forth. There was a lot of good spots as Antonio Cesaro was really focusing on that shoulder, the arm. Great way to work on it. And Miz kept going for the legs, the knees, throwing him into the steps so he could get the knees for the figure 4 leg lock. Well, Miz was going for the figure 4 leg lock, and it was pretty funny. Cesaro kicks his foot, like he kicks Miz's foot away from under him, which Miz then dropped to a knee, and he hit Cesaro in the nuts. Now, it was to the leg, but Cesaro sold it, like he got hit in the nuts, and it was so funny when he rolled on his back, and me, Junk, and Not His Fan were sitting there, and he's rolling on the back, writhing in pain, holding his nuts with his hand pointing at it, like going up and down, pointing at it. Absolutely hilarious. The referee DQ'd Antonio Cesaro. He DQ'd The Miz for the low blow. Antonio Cesaro retained. So at WrestleMania, most likely, it will be The Miz taking on Antonio Cesaro. And afterwards, Miz finally got his money worth and just nailed Cesaro right in the crotch. Kane and Daniel Bryan had a good segment backstage. Kane talked about how he never main evented. So the chamber match is a big deal. Daniel Bryan says, I got your back if you got my back. They hug, and Kane's like, okay, you get my back, and I'll get my back. And that's how it ends. It's time for the chamber match. It's the third match out. And I have to be honest, this is probably my favorite match of the night, hands down. I wasn't expecting too much because I know they kept saying, "Oh, it's got a great chamber lineup," and I was really skeptical. The way they came out were outcomes. Jack Swagger first with Zeb Coulter, and Zeb Coulter laid down a promo, and it was pretty hilarious. And then outcomes Kane. After Kane came Mark Henry, and then came Randy Orton. So you knew Chris Jericho and Daniel Bryan were going to start. They're going back and forth. They're putting on a pretty good show. Well, after the 4 minutes are up, the same way they came into the Elimination Chamber is the way they were coming into the cage. So then the first one out of the pod was Jack Swagger. They were going back and forth, beating the shit out of each other. You guys got to watch it. It's kind of hard to explain. Swagger gets a 2 count, gets a bunch of 2 counts, actually. Then Kane comes out, and then, was it Randy Orton came out. And then, so Mark Henry was the last one in the pod. And there was so much that went down, guys. You got to watch it. But the gist of it was everybody's on the ground. And Mark Henry's in his pod, and he's waiting to get out. He's waiting to get out. He comes out, starts headbutting everybody, beating the shit out of everybody. And then he just goes to town with World's Strongest Slams. He eliminates Daniel Bryan first with a World's Strongest Slam. Eliminates him. He's gone. Okay? And absolutely hilarious. It blew my mind how many he actually hit. There were so many moves. Like, I can't even think about it now. When you watch it, it was that good. I really enjoyed the chamber match. Daniel Bryan was eliminated. Henry grabbed Orton and throws him as a good pop. He actually threw him through the Lexon pod, and I hate you, Michael Cole, for how many times you said Lexon pod. Throws him through the pod, and Randy Orton just looked like he got destroyed. Comes back into the ring. Eventually, which it was pretty funny, I have to admit. Mark Henry was just on a path, okay? And hit him with a headbutt, stacks them on top of each other, and was going for the big splash in the corner. Jericho and Jack Swagger rolled out of the way, misses him. So Mark Henry gets up, Swagger hits a big boot on him. Jericho hit a code breaker. Henry kind of staggers around the ring. Randy Orton hits an RKO. Orton eliminates Henry, which sets up Orton versus Mark Henry. Sorry if I just spoiled the end of the match to you. Goes in there, and after he's eliminated, he walks out all pissed, and then he comes back in the ring, hits a World's Strongest Slam on everybody. Just fucking annihilates everybody. Refs have to come in. Booker T and Teddy Long come out and make him leave. Mark Henry leaves. They're back at it. Absolutely hilarious. I loved everything about it. It was a way to make Mark Henry look strong, but the fact that everybody ganged up on him. In the end, there was a lot of finishers where Jericho was going for the Lion Salt. And what did make sense was Jericho, Orton, and Jack Swagger were left. And Jack Swagger had the Patriot lock on, but Chris Jericho broke it up on Randy Orton. And then Chris Jericho had the Walls of Jericho locked on, but the Lion Tamer on Jack Swagger, and Randy Orton broke it up. And it was like, what the hell is going on? So Orton comes in, RKO's Chris Jericho. Swagger comes up from behind, rolls him over for the win. Jack Swagger is going to WrestleMania 29, and this new Jack Swagger, I'm not a huge fan of Jack Swagger, but I absolutely love what he did. I like the new look. I like the new feel. The only thing I don't really like is his new theme song. I'm not a huge fan of it. They celebrated on the ramp. Orton looks up at the WrestleMania sign of disappointment, and they left. The vignette rolled for the Shield, and then came time for the Shield versus John Cena, Ryback, and Sheamus. Cena came out first. They all came out. Then the Shield came out. It was pretty much a dominant match where they would focus on John Cena or Sheamus. And they had their back and forth, you know. Cena at one point had the STF on Reigns. However, Ambrose broke it up. And they were really, Ryback didn't get in until near the end. And they were really focusing on, it was just a 3-on-3 single tag match. Pretty good match. I enjoyed it. At one point, Sheamus kind of took off the protective vest of Dean Ambrose and did the 10 thing on him. It was a pretty good match. Cena tried to fight back. They kept going at him and going at him and going at him. They went for the triple powerbomb on Cena, to the triple powerbomb, but Cena made the save. Ryback went for shell shock on Rollins, while Cena hits the attitude adjustment on Ambrose. However, Reigns, as Ryback had him up, had Seth Rollins up for the shell shock, Roman Reigns comes in, spears Ryback. Rollins falls right on top of Ryback and goes for the 3 count. Now, some people are going to dispute this, but after John Cena hit the attitude adjustment and Dean Ambrose was laying there and Roman Reigns was laying down after the spear, John Cena kind of went down on a knee, and as Seth Rollins was going for the pin, he went for a punch on Roman Reigns. People are going to say we full on him or he was holding him down. No, he didn't. John Cena could have broke up that pin easily, but he didn't. And Seth Rollins got the 1, 2, 3. So it looks like the Shield is going to have something to do with Ryback going into WrestleMania. So it looks like Shield, Ryback, maybe Team Hell No, something along those lines will be the feud. Then out comes Dolph Ziggler, and he's pissed. His promo was pretty good. He brings up Jack Swagger. He's like, it's ridiculous. You can be gone forever, come back, get a title opportunity, but it's not guaranteed, Jack. It's not guaranteed. This briefcase, this is guaranteed. He goes on this thing that nobody's better than him, the normal show-off stuff, and Booker T comes out and says, there is a man that's as athletic as you, that can put on the show as you, and is as good as you. And we're sitting here going, damn, who are we going to get? We're going to get somebody awesome? And then Kofi Kingston's music hits. I was like, are you shitting me? It completely annoyed me. The match itself was pretty good, though. They were going back and forth. Kofi actually hit a Trouble in Paradise, but Big E pulled him out of the ring. Kofi hit Big E twice. In the end, though, slapped from AJ. Ziggler took him down. After the crossbody, Ziggler took Kofi down. Ziggler connected with a zigzag and won. After the match, Big E went nuts. Big E comes in and just starts destroying Kofi Kingston. Big shots to the gut. Hits his finisher on him. He's holding up his fist. Absolutely awesome. By the way, Mark Henry, that's what I do. They plugged the WWE app in a really stupid commercial. The Brodus commercial came on. And Tamina Snuka versus Caitlyn. Pointless match. Really was a pointless match. Tamina lost. Caitlyn retained. And then comes time for CM Punk versus The Rock. Now, this is honestly, we knew this is how it had to go down. People knew it was going to be Rock versus Cena too. The point was, how was he going to go down? Was somebody going to interfere? And honestly, this was the stupidest way this match could have went down. You guys are going to have to watch it. It was a back and forth contest. CM Punk hit 2 running knees. There was a go to sleep. There was a rock bottom. There was a people's elbow that he kicked out of. But the referee got knocked out. And I think it was Mike Chioda. Got knocked out. And CM Punk hit a GTS and was going for the pin 1, 2, 3. And the audience like 9, 10. And a doctor comes out. And CM Punk gets up like, what the fuck? And then a referee comes out. Okay? The referee comes out. But the referee doesn't run into the ring to the count. The referee kind of comes in and stops at the other referee, looks at him, talks to him. And then Rock gets up and Rock bottoms CM Punk. And the ref slowly makes his way into the ring. And 1, 2, he kicks out, okay? And then they're kind of going at it, and he gets up, and CM Punk barely just kind of rolls over the referee. Doesn't even touch him. Barely touches the referee. And the referee holds his ankle like, ow, ow, ow. He's holding his leg. He rolls out of the ring. I am not shitting you here. This is how it went down. Nobody interfered. The referee rolled out of the ring holding his ankle like, ow, 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 son of a bitch. And, like, he left the ring. And then Rocket Punk went at it, and eventually CM Punk called for the title. He's like, give me the title, Paul. Paul gives him the title. Paul goes over, holds Rock against the ropes. CM Punk goes to hit Rock with the title. Rock ducks, hits Paul Heyman. Rock hits his maneuver, his spine buster. Was it a people's elbow or rock bottom? I'm pretty sure it was a rock bottom. Hits the move on him. Gets the pin. The referee, Mike Chioda, comes back in out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. He retains. Posed to the sign, and that's the end of the pay-per-view. I thought it was just a horrible, stupid way to end it. The botch with Alberto Del Rio was hilarious. The nut shot with Miz and Antonio Cesaro was creative, so I give him that. The chamber match was the only thing that saved this pay-per-view, in my opinion, and I really, really enjoyed watching. So the feuds you have going into WrestleMania are going to be Jericho, Ziggler, maybe Big E, Kofi, something along those lines. Shield, Ryback, or Hell No, Shield, something along those lines. Probably Brock Lesnar, Triple H, Cena versus Rock. You have Jack Swagger taking on Alberto Del Rio. Miz versus Antonio Cesaro. It's actually looking like a pretty good card, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are mad about Cena Rock too, but it is what it is, guys. Let me know what you thought of the pay-per-view. I, myself, give it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view, but not as good as it should have been. But the thing is, it set up the feuds for WrestleMania perfectly. They just may not be the feuds you guys want to see. So I only downgraded it because of the botches. And the finish for the main event was just stupid. So let me know what you guys think. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. We will see you all later.